Hi there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 303 of our Be a Better You Annual Challenge. I'm going to adjust this down just a wee bit. Today, we are talking about step 7 of the IDEANCE process, the final step in our process, which is E for educate. IDEANCE is a process we came up with at the beginning of the year to help us to really get traction, really get success in each of the different areas and aspects of the life framework: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationship, contribution, confidence, and communication. And today, step 7 has everything to do with how do we share what we're learning? How do we reinforce the learning for ourselves in a way that also helps other people? Because I'm like, let's do things to set the example and make the world a better place for everybody, right? So educate means to teach or share some of the things that you learned, some of your ahas, your lessons learned. How can you go about sharing those? Well, in our personal life, we can share them with our family. We can share them with our friends. We can share them with organizations that we're a part of. We can do a post on social media and say, oh my gosh, I just went through this process and it was amazing. This is what happened for me during it. Or we can just share this step of the process, or that we are on a personal development and growth journey, or that we're doing an annual challenge, because we know that if we do one little thing every day, we become a better version of ourselves, a better human being than maybe we were a month ago, a week ago, beginning of the year. So today, all we are going to do is we're going to share how we're going to share, right? I, of course, am making a video about it and a post about it, and I'm going to spread that all over the place because that's what I do every day. But what could you do? Maybe it comes up in a conversation, a phone conversation that you're having with somebody that you talk to every day, or somebody that you see every day. I like to teach things to my little toddler granddaughters. Why? Number one, it's low pressure for me because the audience is not very judgmental. Number two, because I'm planting seeds in them that help them to be better human beings, right? And I think that's our job as parents and grandparents, is to help them not have to go through all the stuff that we went through, right? If we're going through all the things or worse things than our parents, maybe our parents didn't do a great job. I didn't do that. I had and have, my mom's still alive, awesome parents. I mean, probably, I always believed they were like the best parents in the whole wide world. I still do, right? I still, believe that they raised us and were the best parents in the whole wide world, because they were awesome. They were good role models. They taught us how work ethic. They taught us how to set goals. They taught us how to be good human beings. And how that turned out in each and every one of us is slightly different, right? I'm very different than my sisters. I'm considered the black sheep of the family. And I'm okay with that, because that is what was instilled in me, was to think for myself, think for myself, be the best possible version of myself I could be. I modeled after my dad with respect to businesses and corporate America, corporate career. And some of his core values I adopted, and others I got from my mom and from my grandparents. I had awesome grandparents too. Who can say that? Not that many people can say I had awesome grandparents and awesome parents. A lot of people are struggling with and dealing with, although we need to just let it go as adults. That's the biggest lesson I've learned about that. Our parents did the best job they could. Our grandparents did the best job they could. We as parents did the best job we could, knowing what we knew at the time. I mean, I made so many mistakes as a mom, and I look back on them and I try to beat myself up about them. The truth is, I did the best that I could with what I had at the time, and that's what we can expect ourselves. Now, sure, I made different choices and different decisions sooner, of course, right? Hindsight's always 20/20 when we look back and say, oh, well, I messed that up. I should have seen that coming, right? I should have seen that coming. It's always, if I don't listen to my head, my heart, my intuition. If I ignore any one of them, it turns out bad. So that's one of my greatest lessons learned so far in life. So today, how are you going to share one thing about the IDEANCE process with somebody else today, so you can reinforce it for you? The reason we share it and we educate other people on it and we teach it is because it helps us to really internalize it and make it our own. The reason I teach it every month is I want to internalize it and make it my own, so that by the end of the year, going into next year, this process is now in my toolbox forever. Just like the growing process last year we used. It's now in my toolbox forever. And It's got some of the same steps, but it's also got different ones. This is the first time I've ever talked about sharing the information and educating other people with it. We didn't have it in our process last year. And so every year it morphs and changes, which is what the annual challenge is all about, which is what being a better version of ourselves is all about, and continuous improvement is all about. So, any questions about this? If you don't know how to do or what to do or how to share it, please ask, because I am just full of ideas. Have an awesome day, and I'll, of course, see you tomorrow.